There are two kinds of intelligence in this world. One that burns like fire, loud, passionate, and unstoppable, and another that freezes everything around it, cold, silent, and perfect. Lelouch v. Britannia is the fire. Kiyotaka Ayanokoji is the ice. And when fire meets ice, the world watches in silence. Both of them are called geniuses. But their genius doesn't lie in how fast they think. It lies in how deep they understand people. They don't just predict the next move, they control it. They don't play the game, they become the game. Lelouch grew up in a world filled with war, politics, and betrayal. Every moment of his life was defined by pain, the loss of his mother, the exile from his home, the lies of royalty, and yet he turned his suffering into power. He became a revolutionary, a symbol, a god, a demon. He wore masks not to hide himself, but to free himself. Behind every decision, every smile, every sacrifice was a man who carried the weight of 1,000 lives. Ayanokoji, on the other hand, was never born free. He was created, a product of an experiment, a result of the White Room, a place where emotions died and perfection was forced. He wasn't taught to live. He was taught to win, to read every expression, to calculate every outcome, to never lose. And even when he escaped that world, he didn't find peace, he found emptiness. Because, for Ayanokoji, life isn't a story to live. It's a test to solve. So, what happens when a man who feels too much faces a man who feels nothing? When passion confronts precision, when rebellion meets control, Lelouch manipulates the world through ideals. He inspires, he commands through charisma and pain. His strength comes from emotion, from his love for nothing, from his hatred for injustice, from his belief that even a liar can create a better world. He uses the power of guesses. Yes, but his real weapon has always been the human heart. He moves people, he bends them, he leads them to war, and then sacrifices himself to bring peace. His brilliance is loud, it shakes empires. Ayanokoji's brilliance is quiet. He never stands in the spotlight, because he knows that visibility is vulnerability. He doesn't need a guesses, he is the guesses. He sees through lies, desires, weakness, and pride. He manipulates with silence, breaks people without ever touching them, and wins before the game even begins. While Lelouch wants to change the world, Ayanokoji just wants to understand it. Because once you understand something completely, you own it. If they were ever to face each other, the battlefield wouldn't be a war, it would be the human mind. Lelouch would strike first, turning emotion into strategy. He'd try to corner Ayanokoji, to provoke him, to make him feel. But Ayanokoji would not react. He'd analyze every move, every word, every micro-expression, and turn Lelouch's own emotions against him. Lelouch would declare himself the king of intellect, and Ayanokoji would simply smile, because he doesn't play for power, he plays for understanding, and in understanding lies absolute control. But that's the beauty of their contrast. Lelouch is human, deeply, painfully human. He fails, he bleeds, he loves, he regrets, and that's what makes him inspiring. He is proof that even the broken can build something beautiful. His intelligence burns with passion. It consumes him, and yet it saves others. Ayanokoji is the opposite, emotionless, precise, mechanical. He doesn't care about change or peace. He doesn't care about justice or chaos. He only observes, and when necessary, interferes. He's the mind that never blinks, the strategist who doesn't need motivation. He doesn't command followers. He commands results. Lelouch would sacrifice himself to protect his ideals. Ayanokoji would sacrifice ideals to protect his logic. Both are willing to lose everything, but for completely different reasons. One to free the world, the other to prove that freedom itself is just another illusion. If you place them in the same universe, their confrontation wouldn't last seconds. It would be a chess match that spans nations. Lelouch would move the world's emotions like a conductor leading an orchestra. Ayanokoji would let him patiently watching every pattern, every reaction, until the perfect opening appears. And then, without emotion, without hesitation, he'd end the game. But maybe, just maybe, even Ayanokoji would respect Lelouch because Lelouch fights for something Ayanokoji never had: purpose. And maybe Lelouch would fear Ayanokoji because Ayanokoji represents what Lelouch could have become if he ever lost his heart. The truth is, both of them are reflections of each other. Two sides of the same mirror, one shining through emotion, one hidden in emptiness. One dies to save humanity, the other lives to understand it. So who truly wins? There is no answer. Because in this war of the mind, victory is just an illusion, and both of them know that better than anyone. In the end, Lelouch will always be remembered as the man who gave up everything for the world, and Ayanokoji will always be remembered as the man who needed nothing from it. Both geniuses, both monsters, both gods trapped in human form. Maybe the real question isn't who's smarter, maybe it's who's more human. Because sometimes, intelligence isn't about winning, it's about feeling, sacrificing, understanding, and in that sense, Lelouch burns brighter, while Ayanokoji stands colder. But both remain unmatched. If you made it till the end, you've witnessed a clash, not of strength, but of philosophy. Two minds that define what it means to control destiny. If you love deep anime psychology and dark comparisons like this, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell, because more hidden mind battles are coming soon. This is Dark Mirror, where we don't just watch anime, we understand the darkness behind it. And remember, true power doesn't shout, it whispers.